Recorded Books and RB Digital present A New Leash on Love by Debbie Burns. Narrated by Stina Nielsen. Chapter 1. There were a dozen reasons not to pick up Bernie's call. He only called for one thing, and try as she might, she'd never been able to tell him no. Today, of all days, Megan didn't have time for him. When his call came, she was pulling into the parking lot at the High Grove Animal Shelter, ready to start a cram-packed day that would likely be cut short by the massive front of freezing rain passing overhead. Saying yes to Bernie would cost her. She berated herself for answering, for agreeing, for jotting down his location and heading off to meet him, instead of taking charge of her own day. He was a good 20 minutes away, and icy patches were beginning to form on the heavily salted roads. This morning, Bernie was in a part of St. Louis where Megan had never been, a residential area north of downtown. Imposingly tall but narrow red brick houses spanned several blocks. They were old homes, she was willing to bet a century at least, and some were in better shape than others. The one Bernie's truck was parked in front of showed obvious signs of neglect in patches of crumbling brick, broken concrete steps, and a mangled metal fence that had collapsed along one side of the house. The street was practically empty. Megan pulled in behind the city animal control van where Bernie was holed up. She stepped out and reached into the back of her car for her coat. The rain was coming down heavier. If predictions were correct, there'd be nearly an inch of ice covering everything tomorrow. Bernie joined her, hitching up a pair of cargo pants that sagged under the weight of his belly. "It's those eyes that are gonna melt you," he said. "Warm, brown, and super smart, like you've never seen." Megan shook her head, unable to suppress a smile. "I should turn on my voice recorder app," she teased. "The next time you call, I'll prove you say the same thing every time." "I'm not denying I've said it before, but this guy is different. You'll see." He threw an arm over her shoulder and pulled her in for a hug. "How've you been, kid?" "Pretty good. Money-wise, things are really tight at the shelter. There's been one big expense after another, with the heat going out and that problem with the circuit breaker. We've had some great adoption matchups, though. Remember that Yorkie? The one the Macy's employee found when he heard her barking in one of the purses in a mound of other purses?" "Yeah," Bernie said, chuckling. "Well, she went to an awesome home. You won't believe this, but her new owner makes her own line of designer purses. The woman saw her on Facebook and drove in from Ohio to get her. The Yorkie is going to be her company mascot. That little face is already all over the designer's Facebook and website. It's so cute. Oh, and remember the Rhodesian Ridgeback no one had the energy for? Last Saturday, he went to a marathon runner who was looking for a running companion." "Well, that's nice. I'm guessing those'll make your newsletter?" "It's the one newsletter I always open, since I know the only stories you publish are ones with happy endings." From the pocket of his coat, Bernie's phone rang out. He glanced at the screen, silenced the phone, and frowned. "You aren't gonna like this, but I'm gonna have to run. Not 10 minutes after I called you, I got a call from my boss. Looks like his mother-in-law has a family of raccoons holing up in her chimney, probably to weather out this storm. You know, I could use getting in good with him, considering how things have been lately. But you'll be able to handle this guy, no problem. Like I said, he's as smart as they come." "Where is he?" She scanned the front porch and windows. No dogs were in sight. "Around back, chained up. I'd have saved you the trouble of unchaining him, but I phoned in that he was already taken away by a friend of the owner. Can't risk someone seeing me with him and then not bringing him in. You understand, don't you, kid?" "Yeah, I do." Bernie worked for the city animal control department. He was old.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?